City, the smartest people, the biggest ideas.
Pal, a guy I'd met last year in Montreal. His name is Franz Harary. He is the magician's magician. He's the guy who creates those big illusions for all those big names in Las Vegas. And could he come up here now? Franz Harary.
Pleasure. Magic at its core is anything that is impossible within the science of the day. In other words, a couple hundred years ago, electricity was magic. Today, it's every day. But magic needs to be slightly ahead of it, slightly in front of it. At the same time, magic is what creates a sense of wonder, creates that feeling of impossibility that basically drives scientists to push forward to the next thing. Now, as a magician, as an illusion designer, pretty much every day, somebody asks me, how does it work? And I've learned, I can tell you how it works, but it's not going to mean anything because it's how you're wired. Basically, what I do is I create a series of pictures on a stage. I create a scene on a stage or in front of a camera that's so comfortable that your mind goes on hold, and you really stop thinking. Now, the way our brains are wired is we only look for new information, but it's that new information that draws our focus. So what I do is create a scene that's very, very average, that you really don't care too much about, but I give you one or two pieces of new information that you lock onto, and I send you down this path. And as you're kind of traveling down this path, I'm able to step off to the side, do whatever I need to do, join you at the tail end, and that kind of missing time experience, your brain mistranslates, and that short circuit appears to be magic, appears to be impossible. Now, as much as you try to fight this, I mean, I can tell you that's what I'm doing. As much as you try to fight it, you can't. And in fact, what I want to try to do is a little test, a little experiment we can do right now. It's going to feel odd, but go ahead and take your right foot and just make a clockwise circle with your right foot. All right? Keep making a clockwise circle with your right foot. Just keep doing it. Still making a circle, put your finger in the air. All right? Still making a circle. And now, draw in the air the number 6, still making a circle. Do you see it happen? It's weird, huh? So I'm telling you, it's every day somebody says, you see, if I knew how it worked, then you couldn't fool me. But that's what's cool. In fact, the fact that you do know how it works shows us how susceptible we all are to this stuff, you know? Here, I actually wasn't going to do this, but what the hell. This is a physical misdirection. Everybody go like this, put your thumbs down. Moses, come out here. Put your thumbs down, all right? Also, you should be happier to know that the more intelligent you are, the easier you are to fool. It's true. Little kids, they're the hardest audience, because to them, everything is new. They're looking at everything new for the first time. All right, thumbs down, all right? Now, take your hand, cross over the top, and latch on real tight. Thumb still down. Good? Get your thumb down?
Yep.
Okay, and now, Moses, go like this. Thumb is up. You got it? You work it out. You know what's happened is, you'll work it out. Now everybody's going like that. So I'm very fortunate in that my magic, what I do, has taken me around this planet, and I've just seen some unbelievable things. And I've also learned that there's a whole lot more out there than we're ever going to understand. Einstein said that the universe is far more impossible to understand. We'll never be able to begin to understand any of this stuff, and it's true. Now, remember, what I do is I design physical, optical, and psychological illusions. So I'm thinking, there's nothing that I can't decipher. But I'm walking, this is it was Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And this was way, way before I had any kind of celebrity in this market whatsoever. I was just another white tourist buying, rip-off CDs, and that's about it. Right? And I'm walking along in the street, and this little guy, little Indian guy, grabs my wrist, and he looks up, and he started giving me gory, graphic details about my past. I mean, ugly information about ex-girlfriends and just things that I wouldn't tell my closest friend, you know? And it really just threw me back. It was like somebody took a baseball bat and whacked me in the back of the head, because suddenly it said, wait a second, there's more out there. And it's really probably the single most spiritual moment I've had in my life. And what I've done since then is I've kind of re-explored my own magic and what I do, And I've tried to see if I can't take and recreate that kind of eureka moment for my audience. So I kind of reapproached everything that I did and decided to try to see if I can create magic that looked real and that felt real and just credible enough that maybe somehow it was actually happening. And I realized that just like we're doing today, if I tell the audience a little bit about what's going on, I show them some of the technologies, the toys, they see some of the setup, that really was the bump.
Good. Okay, Joaquin, I'll see you upstairs. Good luck. Time to turn off gravity. Ready, all the way around.
Franz Harary, magician and engineer of some of history's most provocative illusions, dreamed of vanishing a moving aircraft mid-flight. The plan was simple yet daring, and it required that the two pilots fly side by side, mere feet from one another.
Whitebird, this is Redbird. Redbird 1, over.
First airplane would pass the second, releasing a trail of smoke into which the second plane would disappear. Mr. Harary would stand 30 feet in the air, directly in the path of these two virtual missiles. He would have a few precious seconds to complete the challenge before the dream turned to nightmare. The illusion was ready to be performed.
Listen, I just want to leave you with two quick little things here. Firstly, I realized that what I've learned to do is potentially really quite powerful. And about 4 years ago, we were working in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. And after the show, this like a teenage boy comes up to me, and he's in a wheelchair. And after the show, where I'm meeting and greeting and doing the autograph thing, and the guy goes, "Mr. Harary, would you please make me well?" It's like, oh, shit, you know? What do you say? Where do you go? And so I realized, okay, what I'm going to do is I want to see if I can empower this kid, because in the Middle East, magic is real. It is part of the culture. It is real. Just as though those are lights, that's the stage, magic exists. So I took his hand and said, look, I'm going to give you what I do. I'm sending you my power, my energy. I am empowering you. You now have the ability to make yourself well. And I never really thought about it again. A couple years later, we were in Bahrain, which is very, very close. And after the show, there's a kid comes walking up to me after the show, and it's the same kid. And it's like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And the parents were saying, "Mr. Harary, we don't know what you did." And it really was such a mind rush for me. And I realized that what we've got and what illusions and what magic can do for us is so much more powerful than just making balloon animals on a stage. Talking about linear thinking and missing information and filling in that missing information, and that's how all this works. You've actually been filling in missing information this entire time. In fact, even Moses, who's standing right next to me, because you see my glasses are not. There's nothing in there.
Right.
But your brain has been filling all that in, and that's really, at its core, everything that I do. I take your world and just skew it just a little bit and let you fill in that missing information and create your own magic, and really that's what it's all about.
Get the latest Idealist news, presenter information, and watch streaming video at www.IdeaCityOnline.com.